Oh, what's up guys? I welcome you back to this channel. This is episode 4 and we are going to look at how you set your AutoCAD units. My name is Mike Ayan and I'm glad that we are running in numbers. This is one of the most important episodes and it marks now the real start of learning, and you should have it as a rule of thumb that whenever I start a new project, you have to check or redo this operation. Units are very important in AutoCAD, and that is why I've presented this video to you. Here is our AutoCAD already open. Let me close some of these palettes. And we have our interface. There are very many videos, 2 of them, in our previous episodes about that workspace. And I'll add a link in the description below for the entire list of tutorials we have made. Generally, the playlist link will be added and you can find more and how to relate to this video as well. Units. How do you set your units? You can go to any free space within your model space. A model space is this entire space here, the black one, and you can test it that you have no running command or commands. You press escape until you see cancel 3 times or 2 or 1. Then you type the word units, or you can type UN or units. Then it will pop up in the list, and there are very many related things about units. Our interest is units. Now once we left click onto UN, then palette is broad and it is locked starting with the angle, and the angle on your right, length on your left, and the insertion scale, that, and also this bottom part. So we are going to start with mainly the units in this box here, and they are the most vital. So there are very many units like millimeters, inches, fractions of decimals, what, very many of them. And if you are a metric man already, you can use meters, centimeter, those metric standards. And if you are imperial as well, you have your feet and inches and many more. Yards, they are all listed. You have to just check in here. Now for my case, I use millimeters. So if I pick millimeters, then you find out that I have to answer the precision, and I have very many of this type, and it is under scientific. So you come to this palette and you can switch to decimal. Then from decimal millimeters, we don't normally operate with dps or decimal points, so you can pick 0. Then for the angles, I will still use degrees, and in decimal, though there are others like radians and many of them, degrees per minute per second, they are all illustrated here. And for this purpose, I need like a decimal, 1 decimal or 2. For my case, I will pick 1, and I need to measure them clockwise, so I can take that. Then under here, you can use the international or the American. For my case, I'll leave it as default. Then over here, you can then say OK, and the units are set automatically in millimeters. So there is something we want to check. Let's repeat with the units or UN, and our units are still intact. You may need fractions or inches down here, and precision you may need 1 1/4, and you can still say OK, but I will cancel this. What we are going to look at in depth is the type. The type is illustrated here. And you come to our customization, left click, then you tick units like that. Then we have it as decimal. Why decimal? Is that it is what we set previously. Let's check again. Have it decimal. So if I cancel that and I pick, for example, architecture, then if I repeat units, simply type UN, then you will find architecture set default. So if you need to change your type, you don't need to come up to this one, and it's a long route anyway. You can use that as a quick way. So I can take it back to decimal, millimeter, take that. Now we are going to look at now direction. Let's click direction, and basing on our angle, let me place it near here. You may need, we are measuring clockwise like that, according to the rotation of my cursor. So you may need to start from the east. That is what it means. Base angle east is default, so it will be default from east as 0, or you can base from north as your default, and the default angle will be 270 there, west 180, south 90, or you can set your angle. If I tick this and I select 45, then when I say OK and OK, then if I'm to draw any line, this is not part of our tutorial, but if then we need to do any changes like to rotate it, then you find out that our angles jump just in 45s as quick as possible. It is a quicker way of rotating things, just using your direction as required. So if you set it like in the 90s, then that thing will play in the 90s. So you come to direction, and if I change to, okay, let me say 0, let's test with 0, and we are repeating the rotate. And if I handle here, so you see it jumping through 90 degrees. So the direction is most important. Don't forget it to be set. Otherwise, to preview our units, in all our tutorials we shall be using millimeters, international standard, decimal, precision 0, and here it depends upon you, and also here will be depending upon you. The direction we shall be using east, and that is all. So consider setting your machine before you do anything important. And in this tutorial, we have covered the most important part of our learning series. Thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.